Hey Chris at Gadgets and Gravel. So I've got an electric lawnmower today from Litheli. This is the EasySurge 18.5-inch electric lawnmower. Self-propelled, battery powered, and it looks like a race car. But it has some other cool features up its sleeve, under the hood, that we can talk about. Stick around. So let's get some of the basics here. To start with, I was sent this for testing purposes. However, neither Litheli or the PR group that sent it to me will get any insight into the video or the content within it or see it before you do. So, that out of the way, let's move on. So again, this is from Litheli. This is the EasySurge 18.5-inch electric lawnmower. It is self-propelled, so it's got a button on it, can drive itself for you. It's a really interesting lawnmower. Aside from the looks of it and the aesthetics, looking kind of like a Formula One race car, even with the T-style handle going on here. It's an interesting lawnmower for a couple of reasons. From the way that it is powered with the batteries, to the way you make adjustments in height and speed for the self-propelled system, to the way that you engage the mower, the blade underneath that is. So it's a pretty interesting mower. So let's kind of break down some of the features that we get with this lawnmower and see if this would be a good option for your yard. All right, so let's kind of talk about the design first. So like I said, this is kind of a race car inspired design here. See right here on the front cover is where you got your batteries at. So underneath here, you've got 4 in this unit. You can get a 2 battery system. The extra batteries give you a little extra run time essentially. So you have 4 batteries in here that pop out individually. They are 20,000 milliamp hour batteries, 4 amp hours. They can be charged via USB-C. They do have a really cool dock as well that does fast charging. You can load 2 batteries in it at once and charge those up. That's a pretty cool system there. You've got an adjustable handle here. Pull the lever here. You can adjust it between 0, which is gonna be folded all the way down flat, 45 and 55 degrees. I do wish that it would drop down a little bit more to maybe a 35 degrees, just to make this handle a little bit lower for people who maybe have troubles getting their arms at a certain height or maybe a little shorter. A little lower handle would be nice for that. You got an adjuster here, so when you go to lay this down flat to store it, you undo this lever here, the whole control panel up top slides down to shorten it up, and you flip it down flat so it folds flat. The downside with that though is that there is a handle here that is really nice to kind of carry it around with, but when you fold this flat, it covers up the handle. So picking it up to move it from place to place gets a little difficult. So that's kind of the basic design of it. Up top here, we've got the control panel, which is where you're gonna have the buttons to make it go, drive forward, the handles to cause the blade to engage, so the safety handle for that, as well as a button to engage the blade. So starting the blade up is kind of a multi-step process that we'll get into a little bit later. You've got your power buttons, you've got your adjustments for speed and deck height for the mower, as well as the button to engage the normal and easy surge mode, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So that's kind of the basic designs. On the underside here, this does have the ability to mulch. Using the 18-inch blade here, there is an insert that goes in the back to help with the mulching process, but when you remove that, Litheli does send this with a bagging kit, so you can attach a bag to this and collect your grass clippings that way. Pretty simple. Overall, like the design, it's a unique looking lawnmower, but the basics of it are very similar to other lawnmowers you may have used before. Here is the Litheli EasySurge 18.5-inch electric lawnmower's control panel. So it's got kind of that race car inspired design for the mower itself, as well as in the handle here. So like I said, we've got these buttons here, which can be pushed individually. So you can use one hand to push it down and it doesn't change the speed or how it operates. These 2 buttons are gonna be buttons to make it go. This dial here adjusts your speed. So it can go from 1.3 miles per hour up to 2.9 miles per hour. Not sure why they didn't pick round numbers, but hey, it is what it is. We got our power button here. Right here in the middle is the button that tells you the battery percentage. So we'll show you your batteries and how much is in each of the battery. For, like in this case, we have the 4 batteries in there. So it'll show the battery levels of each of the batteries, which is kind of nice. But it's also the button you push to engage normal or easy surge mode. So what that's gonna do is switch between about 3,000 RPMs, I believe, double check that number, up to 4,100 RPMs when you go to easy surge mode to help you get through a little thicker grass and things like that. So that's what you're gonna do when you push here. Over here, it's really interesting, is this adjusts the cutting height of the mower deck. So it'll adjust from 1 to 6, I'll put the levels of what each of that means as far as the actual measurements, but it'll move from 1 to 6 here, and it just turns the dial and the whole deck raises up, which is a pretty cool experience. So this saves you from having to go down, lean down low and adjust the handle, even when you have mowers that have a single handle adjustment to adjust the entire height, or when you have to do each individual wheel. It's really nice to turn that dial. You stay away from that, reduce the chance of getting injured, or having to bend down and just finagle with levers down low. So it's kind of nice. Just turn the dial, raises up and down, super easy. On the back side here, we've got 2 more levers here. These are connected as one, and this lever back here is the safety switch for engaging the blade. So to start the mower itself, to actually get the blade spinning, it's kind of an odd process to me. I think it's a little bit convoluted. To me, it seems backwards, but you have to push the button first and then pull the handles. Rather than, to me, I think I would pull the handles and then push the button, but it is what it is. But that's how it gets going. It's a pretty simple operation to get started. It looks kind of daunting when you have all the controls and buttons right here, but once you become acclimated to what's there, it's pretty simple to use. Let's go to the next step. So what's it like to actually use the Litheli EasySurge mower? It's kind of hit and miss. Listen, it's easy to use. The mower, it cuts grass, it drives itself, it does the things it says it's going to do. Now, could it be easier? Yes, there are some things about this mower that I wish worked a little bit differently, but I'll cover that at the end of things that I want to be improved on this mower. So using it though, mowing my yard, I've used it to mow large sections, small sections. It's rated about a ½ acre if you've got 4 batteries, or about a ¼ acre if you only have the 2 batteries. Of course, all that's going to be dependent on how fast you're mowing, how thick the grass is, and how short you're trying to cut the grass. So those are some factors you're going to have to come into play when you're mowing with this lawnmower. Adjusting the speeds on the go is nice and easy. It can be a little finicky though. If you're mowing, you got 2 hands on there, you got to take a hand off to go. So remembering to remove your hands, your thumbs or fingers or whatever you're using to push the go button while you adjust the speed, it can be tricky. So it kind of takes a little coordination to kind of get that done. But again, that kind of comes with just using it more and more. Overall, the lawnmower is easy to use. I don't have any issues with the ease of use as far as getting it started and getting going. Once you learn what each button and the order you have to press to turn things on, like the mower blades, it all runs pretty well. Cuts grass pretty good. It could cut it a little bit taller at the maximum height. So it's a good lawnmower. It's an affordable lawnmower. It's gonna cut your grass. There are some places where it'll be better at for certain lawn types and some that it might not be so great for. We'll get into that, but operating the lawnmower, we've kind of gone through what you can expect as far as controls, what you got for batteries. It's got an 18.5-inch normal blade. I say normal as in not like robot lawnmowers are using little razor blades. So this does use a lawnmower blade to cut with, so it's a little more durable than you would get from a typical robot lawnmower blades for that matter. But overall, operation is pretty simple. It's pretty easy. Once you get going, it drives itself. The self-propelled motion is nice. It does help kind of get through and reduces some of the fatigue you may get from pushing the lawnmower all over the place. So it does help with that. But overall, it's an all right lawnmower. It's going to get the job done. There are some quirks it takes getting used to when you begin using it, and some things I like to see improved we'll cover next. What are some of the downsides here? So like I said, the pushing the buttons, the order buttons you have to press to turn the blade on, remembering to let go of the push button to adjust the speed and something like that. Those are some kind of things you'll learn as you go to kind of gain just the muscle memory as far as how to operate it. I'd like it not to be such a learning curve to figure that out. It could be a little easier on that side of things. The other thing I'd like is I wish that the lawnmower handle, I wish this dropped a little bit lower for some people, maybe shorter, to be easier to manage. When you do fold it flat, like I said before, once you collapse this all down and fold it flat, you end up losing this handle to carry it and lift it up with. I like that it does fold up, it becomes more compact, it's easier to store it in the off season, but I do wish that the handle was on the back side when you folded it down, or there's a gap in there, easier to access the handle for carrying it. Again, the cutting height. So this cuts from about 1.3 inches to 2.9 inches, which if you water your lawn frequently, and you always got to water in your lawn, you keep it well taken care of in that matter, or you live in a climate where it isn't too dry, you'll probably be all right. But if you start cutting your lawn short and you live in a drier area or a place where it's really hot, you're gonna end up burning your lawn up a lot faster. So typically you wanna keep it a little bit longer as the summer comes into full effect. So I do wish I had a higher cutting height, even at its max level. That would be great. The blade underneath, like I said, it is a normal blade, but however, I have noticed, and I've done a fair amount of mowing with it. I do make sure I pick up any sticks and rocks that are in the way. However, there is a chance it is going to catch a stray stick here or there, a twig that's fallen down. I've got some pretty good notches already kind of taken out of the blade, so it's already needing to be sharpened. And I feel like that's a little bit early considering the amount of mowing that's had done on it. So I do wish that was different as well. I mean, overall, I think it does okay. If you've got a real thick lawn, it could struggle with it, so you're gonna have to maybe mow it twice, and because it only goes up to 2.9 inches at the highest setting, that may not be enough to get that first cut before you can start cutting it at the height you actually want it to be at, as long as it's in that range of 1.3 to 2.9 inches or whatever that was. So those are the things that I would like to see improved on it. Overall, it's a pretty good mower, but could be better. Final thoughts. Litheli EasySurge 18.5 inch self-propelled battery powered lawnmower. It's nice. I would rather have an electric lawnmower for pushing lawnmowers sort of things than I would have a gas powered lawnmower. I've said this before, I despise small engines. I've dealt with them for far too long, so I'm excited to be able to mow patches of my lawn with an electric lawnmower. It's easier to use, it's quiet, you don't have to mess with the oil changes or anything like that, air filters and all that stuff. It's something you don't have to mess with it, and that's a great thing about using battery powered lawnmowers for push mowing. It's so easy that I've even let my kids use it. I feel comfortable with them being able to use it and feel safe. There's enough safety features on it, and I don't have any concerns with them using it. So that's another benefit of using an electric lawnmower like this is, when they let go of the handle, or you let go of the handle for the blade, it stops immediately. There's no continual run, nobody's gonna get burnt on exhaust, anything like that. So I do think it's a nice lawnmower. It's a good affordable mower for taking care of small patches. Again, you're not gonna mow a massive yard. It's not gonna take care of my whole yard by any means. But it's good for doing touch-ups around areas that I can't get my robot lawnmower into, or my tractor or riding lawnmower into. It's great for doing touch-ups, getting areas around sidewalks that the robot lawnmowers can't get to. So it's good for catching those edges and things like that. The handle could lay flatter, couldn't cover up, it'd be nice if it didn't cover up the handle. Controls are a little finicky, could cut higher. Sure, those are all things to be contending with. If you come into it with the expectations and understanding that those are some limitations of it, or things you'll have to contend with, and it works for you, I think you'll like it. Check it out, links will be down below. I've got more videos coming up, so stay tuned. Thanks for sticking around.